What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mikey Yourself. And this week's video, we're going to take a little deeper dive into the DynoJet Power Vision. Let's take a look at some of the pages and how to configure them. That way you know how to use your actual tuner other than just doing the auto tune. We're going to go ahead and turn this thing on. We'll get power to the DynoJet. And let's take a look at some of these, I guess you call them features, what I think you would find most useful while it's there. When you're on auto tune, you're not necessarily watching it auto tune itself, but there are things that you might want to actually view while you're writing and having this thing collect all that information, right? So what I mean by that is under data log, you have this section here called gauges. So under gauges, you get a whole bunch of pages where you can pick and choose what you want to have displayed. So here's a page I set up really quick, which shows gear indicator, RPM, speed, and engine temp. If I start this up, immediately we should see RPMs jump up because it's a cold start. Let's take a look real quick. As you saw, RPMs jumped. It was tracking along. I didn't wait for this thing to cool or to warm up or anything like that. But essentially, that's what you can do. You can set these different pages up in different ways. Here's what it looks like when you first get it. It's very raw, like there's nothing there. In order to set these up, all you have to do is touch one, and you have to select what signal you want. Go ahead and tap there. And it'll give you two options. One is, do you want it from the vehicle or the DynoJet? I think if you have wideband to auto tune device, if you have the other attachment for the DynoJet, then you'd want to select DynoJet. Otherwise, you want to select vehicle. And this gives you the signals that basically your bike can provide. It's not 100% accurate because I did find some that were there. I think like ambient temperature. My bike doesn't have a sensor for that. I'm not sure why it's listed. But anyhow, if you wanted to change to advanced, you hit the change, you can get advanced signals, and you get a whole bunch more. Again, your bike has to have it. If it's not there, it ain't going to display it. There's a long list of signals that you can take. If we wanted to just kind of keep this simple, we say we want battery voltage in that spot. You can set a high or low limit warning. Say your voltage here, it's got it set automatically for 16. And you could say, I want to get a warning at 15. If my voltage hits 15, it's going to turn the number red on the display. If we look at what that looks like, here it's 11.6. I got to put mine on the tender. But if for whatever reason it's running and it hits 15, we would get an alert. And we'll check that out here in a minute. We'll set something up so we can actually trigger what the warning looks like. I don't really care for this theme here, whether it's because you can't really make it out. That's hard to read versus this one here. Much easier to read. You also have single pane. So if you just want to look at one, you can do that. Again, you can tap it, set whatever you want for your limit or your warnings, and then click OK, and that'll turn it red. You got the opposite, the inverse. I think this is maybe supposed to be high contrast. And they give you all kinds of different options. They even have gauge style stuff. If you wanted to see your RPM as a gauge rather than just a number, you can do that as well. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use that gauge style one and set a low or a limit warning for the battery. What we'll do is we'll say OK, and we're going to say the high warning at 13 volts. We know your charging system usually runs at about 14, so I'm intentionally putting it low because I want to trigger what it looks like when it gets to that level. We'll go ahead and click OK. And then now you see I've got this little bar there. Let's start it again and see if we can get it to warning. As I explained, as soon as it hit 13 volts, it triggered the warning. So in this view, of course, it made it like that white little slice of pie. If you were in one of these style of pages, it will turn the digits red or yellow. I'm not really sure which color it's going to do. Essentially, that's how you set up your gauge. If you're on your ride and you want to log all that information, maybe how fast you went, or how high your RPMs were, or maybe how well your stator was maintaining your power, you can do that. You click start log, it'll record that stuff, and when you're done after your ride, you can always go back to the data log and review it. Under playback. So you can go to playback, look at the most recent log that you did, click view, and it'll load the information for you. I believe you could also go and hook this up to your computer and view it that way too through the application that DynoJet provides. Since we're on this page, we'll cover these really quick. I want to keep this a short video, but you have the playback. We just covered the data log theme settings or whatever. Is you can do the theme, you can do all gauges, so you want to say day and night. You can just do the night ones, you can do the day ones, whatever it is. That'll change things up. How you want your output, simple CSV, which is Excel, to me seems the most logical. And then you can go into signals, and depending on what your setup is, you can choose what signals essentially are available. You can do manual, auto, general logging. We have the narrow band. You can select that. It's going to load that stuff up. It'll make those signals available, and I've already done this, so it's just repeating it again for me. Oops, I didn't have the ECU on, sorry. All right, so it just says, hey, it's going to contain 31 different signals. See, it's a signal there. So that's what feeds this list here. Pretty simple. It took a minute, like I was looking at it and I didn't know exactly what it was going to do. I was worried it was going to jack stuff up. That's all it does. You get trip center. So this will give you your distances and stuff like that. You can reset them just like you would on your speedometer. Or you could just do them through here. Reset trip A, reset trip B. I really wanted to keep this one really short and sweet. Hopefully you found value in this. Kind of shows you how to use this darn thing. Something that maybe it's not so clear or so easy, or it wasn't explained well. So I'm hoping to bring a little bit more to you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Become a member of our community. Love to have your input. And until our next video does post, I hope to see you in the win.